URC round 2 done and dusted. Some massive results that I don't think many people saw coming. 2 come from behind wins. 1 for Zebra versus Munster, and then Connacht coming from behind to beat the Sharks at home. Some big plays, some quality rugby across the board once again. The South African teams are all back in and involved again. Only the home South African teams getting wins. Sharks and Stormers playing away, losing their games. But holy, another big weekend of URC rugby. Big for my fantasy as well. Didn't do too bad in the fantasy. Stick around for the fantasy. If you're involved in the URC fantasy rugby, check the link in the bio for the code or the passcode for the bio to join our pool. Let me know who did well for you in fantasy this week. How did you go in the predictions? Who played well? Who didn't? What were your moments of the week? Because we'll jump into mine. And hit that subscribe while you're there, because I'm gonna be covering the URC all season, and we got heaps like previews, reviews, fantasy rugby. It's all here. It's all here. You don't have to go anywhere else. Hit that subscribe, and let's get into it. So we start off with moments, top 3 moments of the week. This, as always, this is up for discussion. So let me know if I've missed anything or if there was a moment that you thought was better than the other. I've got 3 here for round 2. Well, let's get into it, man. First one, Kyle Steyn double for Glasgow win. Oh, massive, huge win over Benetton. Their first home game. And Kyle Steyn gets a double. Captain fantastic. His first try was an absolute worldie. Just quality in that back line for Glasgow. So that was my first moment of the round. Second, and this is huge, this is massive, Zebra getting a win, a come from behind win over Munster at home. Oh man, they're like 20 points down with 30 minutes to go or 40 minutes to go. Wow, to come back from that against Munster. Fantastic. Shows how much the home and away plays a role, because that was home at Zebra, and man, they did it for their home fans. What a game there. And then my third moment of the round, and probably one of my favourites, was Max Page try for Scarlet in 14 seconds off kickoff. So Cardiff did a trick play with the kickoff. Sheedy, I think he passed to Thomas, so he went to kick it off. Sheedy to the left or to the right, he passed it back, and then Thomas kicked it off that way, and then Scarlets ran the length of the field to score. Max Page scored in 14 seconds. That's wild. That was my top 3 moments of the round. What do you guys think? Was there one that I missed? Let me know in the comments, and let's get into quick recap of all the games. So I had a big one first up. So Leinster versus Dragons, dominant performance by Leinster. Took a while to get going, but when they did, only the whistle at the end stopped them. Conan was great for Leinster once again, just carrying on that form from last week. And then Ross Byrne, I thought, directed play really well for Leinster. And Leinster go 2-0. So that was a win over Dragons, 34-6. Glasgow versus Benetton, the champs at home, 43-10. Wowee. Kyle Steyn with one of the tries of the season already, can I say that? A beautifully executed set-piece play from the line out. Oh man, just the hands, the execution, ball out in front, players running from depth, all knowing exactly when to run, where to run. Passes on a platter, and just a quality finish by Kyle Steyn. This backline for Glasgow, holy, now with Hastings in it, you've got Josh McKay out the back, then you've got Tuipulotu in the centres, Hugh Jones still to come in there, you've got the 2 Kyles, Kyle Steyn and Kyle Rowe on the wings. Oh man, then you got Horn to come in. In saying that, Jamie Dobby was really good as well. It's a fantastic backline, just, man, top class, very, very classy backline, an exciting outfit for Glasgow. Lions versus Ulster, the first South African of the South African teams to play and get the win. So Lions 35, Ulster 22. Dominant performance at home. Not many people in the crowds, a lot of empty seats, but beautiful rugby on display. South African teams do bring a different dynamic to the comp. It only really seems so for the home to play at home, like Sharks and Stormers lost away from home. I thought Cade Voliter, really, really good for Lions. The fly off, had a massive game, kicked really well off the tee and scored a beauty solo try as well, right at the end there. And good win for them. I thought Aidan Morgan stood out again for me in a losing side. Did well for Ulster at altitude too. Tough scenes there. Then we got Bulls versus Edinburgh, 22-16. Caden Moody, holy man, this kid he's quality. No matter what position, wing or center or fullback, just get him the ball, get him a little bit of space, and he'll do the rest. So fast. He's lanky too, so he's got that reach for a good handoff. But that's if you can get close to him. He's that fast. That many times, just little half breaks turns into a full break. You think you've got him, and then he puts the accelerator on and he's gone. Good to see him back and at it. Yes, been off for a while with injury. Has come back, got a few games under his belt, but every opportunity he's got's been fantastic as well. And yeah, just another one of South African teams winning at home. Bulls getting the job done there versus Edinburgh. This is a big one. Zebra versus Munster, 42-33. Huge result. A huge result. What a win for Zebra. We're down 28-15 at the 41st minute mark. At 41 minutes, so in the second half, they're down by almost 15 points. They're down by, my maths isn't good, 13 points. And come back, win versus Munster. Munster resting a few players. Maybe got their pants pulled down a little bit. But full credit to Zebra, man. Yakuba Trula scoring a double down the touchline or down that right wing, carving Munster up, and he was fantastic. A little bit of space, and he's gone. Very, very fast. And just shows that you can't take a team like Zebra lightly, especially when you play them in Italy. Huge result, and definitely putting a stamp of authority down to the rest of the club or to the rest of the competition. It also just shows how the growth in Italian rugby, what's happening in front of us. We've seen how well the Italians did in the Six Nations, and that's spilling over all vice versa. The clubs are doing well, and then it's spilling over into international, or the confidence that those international players gained during that last year's or this year's Six Nations, they've now taken that back to clubland and playing great rugby across the board there. Scarlets versus Cardiff, 15-24. Cardiff win. Oh man, what stands out is Max Page's try. In the 14 seconds to score a try. Cardiff tried a little trick shot kickoff, did not pay off at all. And Max Page went running down the touchline to score. He's definitely one to look out for. I've brought him into my fantasy team. I will do a fantasy video later this week. But definitely someone to look out for. I think he's only $1 million or $2 million in the centres. That's a sneaky buy. He scored 2 weekends in a row now. Then Connacht versus Sharks, another huge comeback. Connacht were down 27-5 at the 42-minute mark. So that's 22 points. That is in 38 minutes. That is comeback season. If you ever heard of that, that's what that is. Connacht, massive shout out to Connacht. Huge result there. And Sharks, man, you'll be kicking yourselves. Being up 27-5 at 42 minutes away from home and then losing that, not good at all. And then last game of the round, Ospreys 37, Stormers 24. Big win for Ospreys. Huge shout out to Dan Edwards with a personal tally of 22 points. If my stats man has got that correct, 22 points, including a huge drop goal. It was almost from halfway line. I think it was maybe 40. He'll probably tell his kids that it was from halfway line. It was a huge drop goal. He scored a great try as well, kicking that ball nicely off the tee. I don't know how he does it. If that's the ground, his ball is right on the ground like that. Similar to Lee Halfpenny, they kick the ball right off the ground. There's barely a tee there. I don't know how he does it, but kicked really well and a good win for Ospreys. Another massive weekend of URC rugby, loving it. Now that the spring or SA teams are back in as well, just adding that little bit more or different dynamic to the way the games are played. Still free-flowing rugby, beautiful tries throughout. And I'm loving it, man. I can't wait to get just for more and more and more and more. How good. Let me know in the comments, how did your team go? How does your predictions go? I think I got 3 wrong. So not that good. My first round was pretty good, but not that good. Let me know in the comments how you went. How did your fantasy team go? How did your team go? What are you looking forward? What fixture are you looking forward to? Hit that subscribe for all things, to stay in tune for all things URC. It's still a long season ahead. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.